We have to wrap up with our Up for debate this week, which Alexis posed the question, where do you think the Stanley Cup winner is going to come from? Is it coming from the West, from the East? Do you not have any idea? Which is a cop-out, guys. We shouldn't have even given you that option.
Well, I needed 3 options and there's only 2 conferences, so I was a little tied up with that idea. But yes, I agree. I don't want to give anybody an easy out here on this one.
Definitely not. So Alexis, what do you think? I mean, both have very strong contenders on each side. Obviously, you can argue usually the East is quite a bit stronger, but where do you think the winner comes out of?
It's interesting because this has been the case for quite a while now, but it seemed like even especially this year more so that the East was buttoned up for the playoffs with like 2 weeks to go. Like they were like literally the team who was the last team out of the playoffs was like 8 points behind the last wild card team. Like they had that figured out like well before the playoffs. The West, meanwhile, came down to literally the last couple of games trying to figure out who's playing who and, where it's all going to be. And there was a lot more at stake in the West. And I think historically, at least I should say more so in recent years, the West has always been a little bit more competitive. Like you never really know who's going to come out of the West. The East, I think, has more of that top end talent that gets hyped up in national media, but maybe doesn't have across the board as much parity as the West has. So that being said, I'm still undecided just because I wouldn't be surprised either way. And seeing how some of these series are starting to play out a little bit. I mean, Florida is down in their series to Washington. You've got the Tampa and Maple Leafs, Tampa Maple Leaf series is kind of interesting. That's all tied up at 2. So I think we might see some upsets here that, we didn't expect to see. So at this point, I am still undecided. I think there's a lot of talent across the board. And even in the West, some teams that are, Dallas is hanging around, some teams where it's like, hey, we thought maybe these would be a little bit more dominant series than they aren't. So yeah, I'm undecided still. So after I just said I shouldn't have given people the option to take the cop out, I am taking the cop out. Jesse, do you have a hard stance on this one?
I think that it'll come out of the East, unfortunately, for, because even if the Wild get bounced, you want to see your conference go and shine or whatever. I just think the East has just such good players and it's fun to watch. It's a different style of hockey too. And Minnesota was very successful against teams in the East this year, which usually doesn't happen. So that was exciting, but I think there's just something about me that says it's probably going to be the East. I hope it's not Tampa. That's really the only kind of hard out I have. I'm done with it. Like, let's move on.
No offense to them. I just want to see somebody else.
If Toronto could not Toronto, that would have been really helpful, but they're starting to Toronto a little bit.
Toronto. Yeah. Figure it out, guys. We're rooting for you. I got you guys going to the finals. So
at the end of the day, my selfishness, whichever team has the most Minnesotans on it would be great because then the cup comes to Minnesota. I get to do work, get to do stories, get to follow the cup around. So that's my pick. But I think it could be, it's the playoffs. It could be anybody, right? It could be Dallas. Who would have thought?
It could be, yeah.
Although, you know what? I believe I said Dallas was going to do well this year. So that would, go back to those.
So again, we want this for Jesse's sake because she likes to look right.